The International Space Station has served us incredibly well over more than 2 decades, but as its retirement nears in the early 2030s, the question is, what's coming next? Today we're looking at the future of low Earth orbit, or LEO, examining the leading projects that promise to replace the ISS. We'll be looking at Starlab, Orbital Reef, and Axiom Station, so sit back and enjoy as we look at these visionary orbital habitats. I'm Ben. This is Physics or Bust. An orbital space station is a complex structure designed for long-term human habitation in space. It requires several key components and systems in order to support life, maintain operations, and conduct research. Here are just some of the essentials. The station's core structure must be built from lightweight yet strong materials like aluminum and titanium alloys. And that structure must have pressurized modules containing life support systems where astronauts can work and live. The station also needs docking ports in order for spacecraft to deliver crew and cargo. Each station will also need to be equipped with thrusters and gyroscopes in order to correct and maintain the orbit and orientation, as well as a method to remain in contact with mission control on Earth and relay data transmissions. We are looking at research being done on each of these stations, and a lot of the research requires a lot of data transmissions to and from the station. And since crew will be on board each station, they will have to have life support systems that at the very least will do oxygen generation, carbon dioxide removal, water recycling, and temperature control. All these systems will require power, and that brings up the next necessity: power generation. Since they're out in space with all that sun, it makes the most sense to have solar panels for power generation. But they'll also have to have battery storage for those times where the Earth's in between the sun and the station. The aspect of each station that I really wish I had more info to share with you is crew accommodations, which includes sleeping arrangements and exercise equipment, as well as how each station plans to deal with the radiation shielding needed for cosmic radiation as well as when solar storms hit. Each of these systems must work in perfect unison to ensure the safety and functionality of the space station. For over a quarter century now, the ISS has been the cornerstone of human spaceflight, providing a unique laboratory for scientific discovery and international cooperation. However, its planned decommissioning forces us to develop next-generation platforms that not only continue research in human habitation, but also open up new commercial opportunities as well as prepare us for deeper space exploration. So let's break down the 3 major projects that are aiming to keep our presence in LEO. First, let's look at Starlab, developed by Voyager Space in collaboration with Airbus and also Northrop Grumman, who initially had plans for their own space station, but later on decided to scrub those plans and instead join up with Voyager Space with their project. Starlab is expected to launch around 2028. Primarily focused on scientific research, Starlab is designed to be a cutting-edge laboratory for studying space life, material science, and Earth observation. Its plans also include later provisions for private accommodations, meaning that eventually it could serve dual roles in both research and commercial tourism. Starlab's plans include highly automated systems for data collection and resource management, which reduces the need for constant crew intervention. It boasts enhanced life support systems and modular research pods, which allow scientists to conduct experiments in a variety of disciplines. Airbus's involvement brings a robust European engineering pedigree, and because of the international companies involved, both NASA and ESA will be looking at the safety aspects of Starlab to make sure they meet all international safety standards. Next up is Orbital Reef, a joint venture with Blue Origin and Sierra Space. Orbital Reef is targeting a launch in 2027. Envisioned as a multi-use modular space station, Orbital Reef intends to serve as an open marketplace for space research, manufacturing, and hospitality. Their goal is that people will think of it as a business park in orbit, where different companies and governments can set up shop. The design is highly flexible. Modules can be added or reconfigured in order to satisfy changing mission needs. And one really unique aspect about their design is that many of the modules will be launched in a collapsed state and expand once they're out in space, resulting in a station that has a much higher volume of space per module launched. This aspect is a huge difference from the other space stations, and if it works how it should, could result in this station being the more cost-effective station than the other two. It plans to include advanced docking systems, shared resource networks, as well as a mix of pressurized and unpressurized modules in order to cater to diverse commercial activities. Partnerships for Orbital Reef include not only Blue Origin and Sierra Space, but they're also collaborating with aerospace giant Boeing, as well as tech companies such as AWS, ensuring robust technical and commercial support. Last, let's look at Axiom Station. Many people do consider Axiom Station to be the frontrunner in this race. Part of that is because their first module is slated for launch in 2026, earlier than the other two stations. Part of the reason it can launch earlier than the other two systems is because its first module is going to actually dock with the ISS and utilize some of the resources that the ISS already has. Over time, additional modules will be launched, and when connected to the first one, will eventually form its own standalone station that can detach from the ISS. Plans for Axiom Station include having modules that are for scientific research as well as ones that are for space tourism on the same station. I think part of the genius of this plan is that they intend to use the structure and resources of the ISS, which is already up in orbit, in order to reduce their initial costs and get up there earlier, and then add modules later to evolve into an independent commercial space station. The modules will feature state-of-the-art environmental control systems, advanced robotics, and an architecture that supports long-duration stays. Emphasis is placed on redundancy and safety, with multiple layers of backup systems to protect the crew and the research. Axiom's plans ensure that their modules will be compatible with current ISS systems as well as future exploration goals. Now let's compare these stations side by side. Axiom Station is pushing to have an operational module in 2026. Orbital Reef is anticipating its first module in 2027, and Starlab is looking at a later launch of 2028. Now, if all three stay on target, they'll each have their first module in space before the decommissioning of the ISS. But if delays happen, like they usually do with space exploration, we're most likely to still have Axiom in space even if Starlab doesn't quite get there. When it comes to primary mission, Axiom aims for a smooth transition from connected with the ISS to a fully commercial space station, balancing research and tourism. Orbital Reef is envisioned as a multi-use orbital hub, basically a flexible business park where companies and industries can rent out space in order to have the research done that they want. Their plans do include at least one module for space tourism, and with their expandable modules, that will mean that their space accommodations are more likely to be more luxurious than the other stations, even though space tourism is definitely not its main focus. Starlab, as its name implies, is focused almost entirely on research and development. It'll have commercial accommodations, but its primary focus is going to be a research laboratory. Axiom benefits from strong collaboration with NASA and SpaceX, which will ensure that it's compatible with current ISS infrastructure. Orbital Reef harnesses the combined innovation of Blue Origin and Sierra Space along with industry giants like Boeing, providing a diverse technology pool. Starlab's team up with Airbus gives it an international flavor and a pretty heavy dose of engineering expertise. Each project is unique, and it'll be really interesting to see how each station develops. But one thing's for sure, they promise a dynamic future for human activity in low Earth orbit. So in summary, while the ISS has been a remarkable platform for space research and international cooperation, the next generation of stations, Axiom, Orbital Reef, and Starlab, are set to revolutionize our presence in space. Each project brings a unique vision. Axiom provides a gradual transition to an independent commercial station. Orbital Reef envisions a vibrant multi-industry orbital hub, and Starlab focuses on pushing scientific boundaries with advanced research facilities. Which vision do you find most exciting? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'd like this book. I have an affiliate link in the description below. I do get a small commission, but it doesn't cost you any extra. For more space and science news and updates, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember, keep asking questions. I'll see you on the next video.